Hello there, good afternoon. This is News Today. I am Emefa Akosia Aditi. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra. We're still live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, anger and frustration mounting over the government's failure to halt Galamsey and its devastating impact on food and water. Civil society groups, church leaders and parents are urging President John Mahama and top officials to immediately declare state of emergency.
Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo Yo. Okujeto, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother, Robson Dafiamo Paul, you cannot change your mouth.
Well, we have details as shocking figures from the Ghana Water Company reveals stability levels hitting a record 94,000 in the central region, making river water impossible to treat.
The 6th of September, So the stability, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see like 50.
Plus, we'll bring you public reactions to the alarming poisoning of food on the market. Well, we have this as well, and growing decline in trust for the John Mahama government as latest poll shows a 6-point decline in his job approval in just 9 months in office. Details and analysis of this and more shortly. Also in the news, police bust notorious gang behind a string of violent robberies, including attacks on 10 rural banks across 5 regions. More as the IGP hails it as a major breakthrough, with 3 suspects shot dead and a nationwide manhunt launched for the others on the run.
Delighted to announce that we have successfully dismantled the gang behind all these robberies. So far, we have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police.
Well, plus chilling revelations that the gang used a service rifle from a policeman they killed during one of their operations. As well in the news, the TEWU rejects the government's proposal to defer agreed conditions of service to next year's budget, insisting on implementation this year as a standoff drags on.
Then our counterparts who are in the classroom will be paid the current amount, and we will still be taking the old amount. What do you think our members will take us for?
We have details as the National Labour Commission is set to deliberate on next action against the striking union. Today, well, again, we're very live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. Please stay for details. We appreciate your company this afternoon. First, there is growing anger and frustration over President John Mahama's reluctance to declare a state of emergency on all polluted river bodies amidst increasing destruction and acute water shortage. A recent data from the Environmental Protection Authority and Pure Earth has indicated the earth, water and food crops, including tomatoes, coconut, mangoes, contombre and others, have all been poisoned with mercury, lead and cyanide in 6 regions, with Konongo Zongo and Konongo Dumase and Western region being the worst hit areas. But more worrying is fresh data from the Ghana Water Company Limited in the central region, which has shown a record of 94,800 turbidity level and as low as 5 NTU in 2012 in the river Ayensu that feeds the Kwenyako treatment plant, which officials say cannot be treated. Listen.
Around back then, we record color 450, 400, and the stability was around 30, 33. That is something
on average.
Yes, on average. You can see we even get 25 for stability, 31, 32.
Which was fine.
Which was fine. That one, the system was working well with it. You can see. This is on the 6th of September. On the 6th of September, yeah. So the stability, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see, like 50. Yes, like 50. So even if it has gone so bad, like 500, it's even too much for the system. But now 94,800. Then the color 105,000. Okay, color of about 100, maybe maximum 500 is now 105,000. Okay, so you can see it was written there are no flock formation, therefore no supernatant for analysis.
What does it mean?
After the dosage the person added, after performing the test, it didn't coagulate.
Now, speaking on PMS Press on Tuesday, a member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, Senyo Hosi, bemoaned the reluctance of President John Mahama despite the loss of 8 compatriots to the menace, as he called out government officials who were loud on the matter while in a position to also act.
His Excellency the President, and I know him a bit, he's a good, nice man. Whatever is holding him, I don't know. John Mahama is a good, fine man. His brain is on point. His children are sweet people. I can't understand that he would think of other people's children to drink this water. I don't think the First Lady in her sanity would ever sit down and approve of any of this when one of the people she loves the most has died. Why should the Minister of Lands be raving and ranting as if he's the only one on the street? Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo Yo. Okujato, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother rocks in that here, Paul. You cannot change your mouth. Please, it's not about your party. It is about Ghana. There should be something we should stand for. Somebody should die for something. Omani, my brother, he died for something, but his own people cannot even make what he died for even count. They are thinking that they've raised 3-something million or 6-something million using government donations and all that, blah, 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 to use that to mask and say, I'm thinking of your family. That's the small thinking that you people have.
Now, the University Teachers Association, UTAG, has consistently threatened to shut down the universities if the government does not act. National President Professor Mamadou Akududu says that a critical decision will be made next week after the expiration of a 90-day ultimatum to the president.
Most likely, we're having our Congress just next week, and that'll mark the end of the 3 months that we give. And so our biennial National Congress will be next week, and definitely Congress will take a decision as to what will be the next action. And we believe that definitely something concrete, they will take a concrete decision as to the next steps if nothing happens by the time that we go for Congress.
We can now hear the reaction of traders and buyers at Agbogboshi Market to the EPA Pure Earth data that reveals the poisoning of food crops due to Galamsey. Noella Karaniyale has more.
And across largest food hub, many traders and shoppers are either unaware of the report or simply don't believe it. Brighter woman, a tomato seller, hadn't heard about it.
Say, what's the report? I be minted. So me kase my tea and me boy minty. What's your uncle then uncle be? Oh, anyone say be kasa che omo. Na sa chemicals na omo dey here no omo ntwa so. Na omo fanye bi.
Others, like Ya Ekuma, had heard of the findings, but dismissed them as impossible.
Oh, Yati. Yati nintosi dia, oya na wasabi ya wa enyeyi. Intosi baby, ya intosi dia, otu good wa intosi na enyeyi.
Enyeyi say.
Ebe wukura. Ebe kunu ya ni nyana. Inti baby ya dua intosi dia, emme baby etu good.
Enti me fifi.
For Ma Fosti, who sells kontomire, or cocoyam leaves, the claim is hard to believe. She insists the leafy vegetable could never grow on poisoned land.
The metimi aka wo muni se wey enu akasa na esuogu so a etimi fifi ne tam so se wote ana wate efri tete amani fi here minyi ekwa manya be 55 enya no kure se asase chemicals wo mu no kontomre ntumi fifi wo ho okay abeduro ntumi fifi wo because ase ewura ni nyina e wo ho enti ebi ma.
Some shoppers like Beatrice Larby say even if the food is contaminated, washing with salt is enough to remove the danger.
Me pacho me dey answer same. I say me toy. Me kwa me dey chinsu bed warm water na me dey chinsu agu. Enchi agu na ma wohoro wansa na me dey aye.
Away from that, a new national tracking poll by Global InfoAnalytics suggests that President Mahama's honeymoon with voters may be cooling off. His approval rating has dipped from 73% in July to 67% this September, while more than two-thirds of Ghanaians still back his leadership. Concerns are emerging, especially over governance, corruption and living standards. Now, the poll also highlights shifting political loyalists, with both NDC and NPP seeing slight declines and more Ghanaians identifying as floating voters. This afternoon, we break down what these numbers really mean for the Ghana's political landscape. And my colleague, of course, Isaac Ofieje, lead data analyst, and also at the research desk, joins me for more details on this. You have been crunching the numbers.
Yep. In fact, this is the first survey that we've gotten with actually numbers attached to it. The first one we got was from Imani. That was more of a sentiment analysis using social media commentary, where they said that looking at what they were seeing, the president's approval rate was coming down and his honeymoon period was actually slumping. Now we have a sense of what that means in numbers or in numerical terms, thanks to Global InfoAnalytics. If you can look at this, line graph that tells you where the president started from in January of 2025, you can see the green line. That is the approval ratings for President John Dramani Mahama for his work done. And then also the green line is the disapproval rating. And if you see the light blue, the deep blue line is the disapproval rating, and you have the no opinion. So you see the green line, that is where we are putting much of our attention on. You can see it moving from just slightly above 35% now when he won power. By April, when the city was doing so well, became the best performing currency in the world, when there was anti-corruption fight, and then he started introducing, new initiative. Oral had come out with their report and all of that. His approval rating went up from below 40% to 66%. Then in July, when the city was still doing well, gold board bringing in a lot, and Ghana's economy was on a good trajectory, inflation was coming down significantly, it moved from 66 to 73%. Then when the cedi became, let's go back to the West, so when the cedi became the West performing currency and fuel prices, we understand, going up, what we are seeing in October, which the survey was done in the last, this September, right? What we are seeing is that President's approval rating has come down by 6 percentage points. Very significant. So once you see his approval ratings coming down, disapproval rating, on the other hand, is also going up marginally. But those who are saying that no opinion has also increased from 8 to 11%. What we know is that this is a survey that spoke to more than 9,000 people across the length and breadth of the country using mixed approach. So it tells you a national picture with a confidence level of about 99%, surety. So what we are saying is that the first poll or the first analysis we got from Imani, possibly Global InfoAnalytics, adding some form of numerical, picture or perspective to this whole thing. And what we are saying is that the president's approval rating has currently dropped by some 6 percentage points, which is very significant. We are saying that, well, his honeymoon period may be slumping at the moment.
I think that you're quite accurate with that, especially with that Imani pulse data that they brought out. This means that we're putting figures to it, and that's what Global InfoAnalytics nearly is doing. So we've got Executive Director of Global InfoAnalytics, Musa Dankwa, joining us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us. First of all, for the number of months and the percentage of the decrease, for a researcher, are you surprised, first of all, before we get into the details? Can you unmute if you can hear me?
All right, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, clear, thank you.
All right, as a researcher, nothing should surprise you. What we are seeing is a response to voters on a number of issues, which I think Kofi Adjei has illustrated in some way from his presentation. If you look at the cry over the Galamsey, is having impact on him. If you look at the oral stagnation according to people, it may have impact on him. The CD performance may also have impact on what we are seeing in the at the moment. For me, nothing surprises me.
For the sample size, you say that you're duly represented, especially rural and urban areas. For the sample size, you say that it's very well represented?
Yes, absolutely. This is a sample that was deployed across 83 constituencies in all the 16 regions, urban, rural, peri-urban. Everybody is covered in this sample.
Okay, well, so for, if you look at the sentiments that we actually recorded, for young people who seem to be dominating in terms of, you know, and that's what Imani polls used. For young people, would you say that their projection in this, your research, as well, makes meaning for all political parties? And what does it mean moving forward for them?
Look, the most profound data today is the proportion of young people who are voters. From this survey, they are about 78%. They decide who becomes the president. You must listen to them, you must hear them. If you ignore them, you'll be in the bushes.
In answering the question of nothing surprises a researcher, you highlighted a few things that you said may be affecting him, Galamsey and all of that. But for this particular percentage, the 6% that you're seeing in decrease, which specific points would you say were the most that affected him?
No, we will not be able to ascribe any issue to this decline because we didn't ask them specifically what issues made you rate him low or high. That has to be somebody else's work to go and do. We've given a broad brush of what we have seen, but we can't tell you exactly what is the main cause. But really, there has been a drop in the people who feel good about the economy. There has been a drop in those who think a corruption fight is going well. There has been a drop on those who say the country is in the right direction. So these are indicators that can conclusively say that these are the issues that are dragging the president down.
Do you see any cascading effect of voter apathy from 2024? And I ask this question because of the findings that suggest that lots of people, well, didn't want to share their sentiments. These voters, you say, it's still a representation of voter apathy?
I don't think so. It's too early to talk about voter apathy at this stage. People have to be engaged. We have to engage people in all the conversations, young and old. And once we engage them and we explain ourselves to them what we're doing, they will be fully engaged. But if we ignore them and brush aside their issues, then that will be a problem going forward.
I ask because you mentioned that it's too early, but I'm asking whether it is a cascading effect from 2024. Are these people still the same people? These are not new people showing voter apathy symptoms because, of course, it's too early. But are these people who traveled from 2024?
Yes, mostly the same voters we're talking about.
Okay.
There hasn't been a big change in the numbers. The same people we're talking about here.
Okay, and the fight against corruption, you say 53%.
Yeah, you can see that there has been a decline. And it's probably, and my guess is that they haven't seen any move from the oral, stagnation in prosecution, and they are thinking probably nothing will change. And also the use of the what they call a pre-bargain agreement could really backfire on the government. They have to be really, really very careful as to how they apply this. People are thinking that they are patting themselves in the back and nothing will change. If that happens, they will be in gloom situation.
And so you say that if the government does not proceed by prosecuting people, it will still go further to affect them?
Absolutely, yes.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us today on the news. Well, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, has announced a 1.14% increase in electricity tariffs for all consumer categories effective October 1, 2025. Water tariffs, however, remain unchanged. In a statement signed by Acting Executive Secretary Shafiq Suleiman, the Commission explained that the review was based on key economic indicators, including the cedi performance against the US dollar, the prevailing inflation rate, and the approved cost of natural gas for power generation. The PRC says the current energy mix will also be maintained with nearly 30% of supply from hydro and just over 7% from thermal plant. Now, let's hear from the PRC, which has been explaining the reasons behind the electricity tariff adjustment and why water tariffs remain unchanged. Here is Dr. Eric Obute, Director of Research and Corporate Affairs at the Commission.
You see, 4 variables that we consider when it comes to the issue of the minor tariff. The tariff that we have done this time round is a minor tariff, not a major tariff. There are 2 tariff windows. The major tariff window, we consider both capital expenses and operational expenses. In the minor tariff, we consider only operational expenses. And in this particular case, we considered exchange rate, inflation, the generation mix between thermal and hydro, and the cost of gas, or which is fuel. The cost of gas and that of the energy mix did not change. It remained the same. But the case of exchange rate, the exchange rate depreciated marginally against what we used the last time. The last time we used 10 cedis 70 pesos to the dollar to run the tariffs. This time around, we're using an exchange rate of about 11 cedis 97 pesos. Now, that means that there's a shortfall of about 40 pesos. That 40 pesos needs to be recouped. So that 40 pesos added to the 11.97 came to about 12.37 cedis. So we are using 12 cedis 37 pesos to the dollar. Now, if we run through these numbers, we realize that the electricity price should go up by 1.14%. In the case of water, we use the same variables, and the shift in price was about 0.1%.
This afternoon, the Ghana Police Service has arrested a notorious gang behind a string of violent robberies, including attacks on about 10 rural banks across 5 regions of the country. The IGP, Christian TEWU, who addressed the media alongside top officers of the Police Management Board, described the operation as a big strike against criminals who have terrorized financial institutions and communities, saying it is a major breakthrough. He revealed that 3 of the gang members were shot dead during an exchange of gunfire specifically, whilst a manhunt is underway for others who escaped.
Ahia Zongo, Aputoja, Abotem, please forgive me my language. Kasebost, Esofua, Atosu Monaco, Pechi, Obuase, and Boho near Kronom. These are the hideouts of these criminals. I'm delighted to announce that we have successfully dismantled the gang behind all these robberies. So far, we have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police. We have launched a manhunt for the remaining suspects who are on the run. We will not stop until we get them arrested. We were also able to recover 14 weapons, including AK-47 rifles, pump-action guns, a single-barrel gun, pistols, ammunition, vehicles, mobile phones, among others. The Director General CID will give you the full details of the operation, the suspects, SCVs, among others.
On the details, the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP Lydia Yakodonko, disclosed that some of the weapons retrieved from the suspects actually belonged to police personnel who had their weapons snatched. In one incident, a police officer was killed and his service weapon taken by the gang.
Gentlemen, it is worth noting that one of the AK-47 rifles marked GHGP/ASH/TEPA/TP/B1523 retrieved from this gang was a police service weapon issued to number 48034 G Corporal Francis Eduyao, then at Tepa Police District Headquarters, who was sadly attacked by armed robbers and killed on the Bibiani-Goso Highway on 29 November 2024 while he was returning from an official duty. This is an indication that this same gang committed that heinous crime. The other two AK-47 rifles, also service weapons, were snatched from officers who were on duty at Ecobank Ahafo Kenyasin when they were attacked by a gang of armed robbers on 8 September 2025. Between November 2024 and September 2025, the police administration responded to a series of bank robberies across the country. A critical analysis of these robberies revealed a similar modus operandi employed by the robbers. Their modus was that the gang armed with pump-action guns attack a bank, hold the security guards hostage, snatch their weapons, and then use industrial cutting machines to break into the vaults of the banks. Targeted intelligence gathering across the affected regions led police to one of the suspects, one Kwabna Owusu-Ansah alias Kobi, an ex-convict who is believed to be the mastermind who recruited several others for the robbery operations. On 18 September 2025, an intelligence team proceeded to Esereso Adeja, where sustained surveillance led to the arrest of suspect Kwesi Eje alias Cobra, the leader of the gang, in his hideout at Esereso Adeja.
She's also been providing details on the rural banks that were attacked, as well as the gang's modus operandi in carrying out their operations.
The banks affected are as follows. Adansi Rural Bank in Fomena was attacked on the 10th of April 2025. The Lower Pra Rural Bank at Takrade in Traban was attacked on 24th April 2025. Asokore Rural Bank in Asokwa was attacked on the 18th of May 2025. Ahafo Kukom Rural Community Bank branch was attacked on the 30th of May 2025. In Wabeja Rural Bank at Ofinso was attacked on the 10th of July 2025. Bosomchi Rural Bank at Sontreso was attacked on the 18th of July 2025. Kakum Rural Bank at Elmina was attacked on 4th August 2025. MRB Bank in Winneba was attacked on the 15th of August 2025.
There's more details on this particular development on My Joy Online, and I'll take you to the Ashanti region, where the Kumasi Resolution Center for School Placements has been thrown into confusion and agitation as parents and students crowded the Kumasi Technical Institute auditorium to resolve challenges following the release of the 2025 Senior High Placement school results. The center has become a scene of long queues and heated exchanges amid desperate appeals for swift solutions, with many parents requesting changes to the awards, placement, or preferred programs. Frustrations are mounting over the delays and difficulties created by the slow placement system.
If the numbers are not given out right from the gate, there will be confusion here unless soldiers are called in.
When I first arrived in the morning, we were all following the queue. Later, numbers were given out for us to use, and that was fine because the officials planned to attend to people using those numbers. Not everyone received a number. Some did, while others didn't.
we abadi edimu ama 12 forms abadi edimu si mu amu ba inside akwa mbaye ni wa anya dia anya ya mamu so musa ko enti pa for amu ni problem dia.
Okay, we're back from school about your school additional but the university are not yet
My child is from Accra and was placed at Ejusuman Senior High School as a day student. Since she is from Accra, she cannot attend the school as a day student, so we are here to request that her placement be changed to boarding.
Now, my colleague Josephine Sego has been monitoring the situation in the region and joins me via Zoom. Josephine, what's the situation as of this afternoon? If you can hear me, kindly unmute. We'll try and reconnect with my colleague Josephine Sego. She's been following that situation that we just brought to your attention from the Ashanti region, specifically Kumasi, on the school placements where parents and students or candidates, we shall say, are quite in distress on how to resolve the matter. I'll try again, Josephine, if you can hear me. What's the situation like at the center?
Yes, please. So the situation as of now is calm here at the Kumasi Technical Institute, the main center in the Ashanti region for the self-placement for those who are entering the senior high school. So the situation here as of now is very calm.
Right. Do you know what triggered? Of course, we know the underlying factor that people want their matters resolved. But do you, over here in Accra, it hasn't been chaotic as this one as we've seen. Do you know what triggered the chaos?
Okay, so although numbers have been given to the parents to control the long queue, but there are some people who would want to swerve their way into, you know, let their problems be dealt with for them, whilst others who have been there for long wouldn't let them. So that is what triggered the chaos over there.
The center have told you that they've been able to resolve the challenges, and how did they do that?
Yes, please. They have assured us. They are saying that for everyone, for every student, to make sure that the scheduled date for the opening of school, everyone goes to school. They are making sure that they make the process very smooth for everyone. And so the parents are also complying by that, and they are assuring us that everything is going to be okay.
Very well, Josephine. Amazing for bringing us that report from Kumasi. Now, this afternoon, Tertiary Education Workers Union of the Trade Union Congress, TEWU, is rejecting the government's proposal to defer agreed conditions of service to the next year's budget, insisting on implementation this year. A standoff in the educational sector drags on. Labour and Employment Minister Dr. Rashid Pelpo, speaking on the AM show this morning, urged TEWU to suspend the one-week strike and allow the government to defer their grievances to the 2026 budget, as there's no space to accommodate them within this year.
Essentially, what I know is that they have a strong need for us to respond to what they want. Unfortunately, it is the wrong time, because you are dealing with a government which dealt with a budget that we didn't draw for 3 months, after which we now have to do a budget just to be able to run this, the government to the next year. So this year is not a good time for anybody to want to go on strike, because it is when we finally understand whatever is happening, appreciate their concerns, pick them up, and are running with them and the economy, that they should be worried that we are not responding to their needs.
But the TEWU stands firm on its demands. National Chair of the Union, Salamatu Mahama Brima, said the union cannot grant the government's proposal as they cannot continue working under poor working conditions for more than a decade.
If they cannot make provision for us now, then we would not agree to be included in next year's budget. And look at the number of years we have operated on a spite conditions of service, and especially in the case of the DES, they are left with only one item, and that is the allowance is an existing allowance. We are just seeking to enhance on it. The teacher's own has been enhanced on. And so we are seeking the enhancement. And so if they are telling us next year budget, then our counterparts who are in the classroom will be paid the current amount, and we will still be taking the old amount. What do you think our members will take us for?
All right.
Already go to our various platforms. They are very
upset.
Meanwhile, the National Labour Commission, NLC, is set to deliberate on next action against TEWU today after the union defied the Commission's directive.
It's important to note that they can't continue to be on strike and expect that there would be any positive engagement. That is contrary to the law. They need to follow the action. What they want is to have a resolution. So it's important that find a way their position that they are not happy, and now there's intervention. Follow the action and go and have the conversation. So it is clear that they are saying that they wouldn't follow the action. Have negotiation be held while on track. That is not in accordance with the law. So that is.
I didn't quite get that, Dobby. What will the Commission do if they do not call off the strike?
What the Commission would I can't say now. Currently, the Commission is considering the matter. Whatever the Commission, you will get info.
Watching news today, also, Tema Secondary School has received a donation of 100 monodecks from its 2000-year group, marking their 25th anniversary since graduating. The gesture aimed at easing infrastructure challenges in the school was presented during a short ceremony on campus. Joy News was there for the presentation, and there's more in this report.
The president of the 25th Anniversary Committee of the 2000-year group of Tema Secondary School, Philip Kwao, explains that for the past 25 years of graduating from the school, the group thought it wise to donate the mono desk to the school, even though they have been doing a series of activities for the school. He says the infrastructure and equipment deficit in the school is enormous. Hence, as part of their 25th anniversary celebration, they are donating 100 mono desk to aid teaching and learning in the school. Philip Kwao spoke in an interview with Joy News during the presentation of the items at the school.
We are here to give back. After 25 years of leaving Tema Secondary School, we know it's time to give back. So from the beginning of this year till now, we've been giving back in various ways to the school. We're talking about equipping the school kitchen. We've come back to do career forum to give guiding posts to our colleagues who are still in school, or these days some of them are qualified to be our own children who are in school. But today we are here because we are making a donation of 100 monodecks to support sitting in the school. We all know with the bulge in numbers that we want to continue to help improve the equipment and infrastructure in the school. So today the year group is making a donation of 100 monodecks to improve sitting for students, so that teaching and learning can continue in an enhanced environment. The gap is huge, and this is a start. So throughout our anniversary, and we want to say that we, the year 2000 group, believe that this is the beginning of a strong partnership with the school into the future.
The assistant headmistress for Tema Secondary School, Veronica Ankapong, appreciated the gesture, adding that the school will ensure the culture of maintenance will be applied to the furniture, so students who will attend the school in future will also benefit.
2000-year group for these nice gestures.
honestly, we look forward to see such donations, looking at the increments in student enrollment. The students numbers are overwhelming, and we look forward year after year to receive such benefits. We promise that we are not going to leave these donations unattended to. We are going to instill the culture of maintenance in the students. So,
you're watching news today. Please stay for business.
You're welcome back, and it's time for business. I am Michelle Ejekum. Now to the stories. Registration for the EcoBank Joy News Business SME Fair has started. The fair, which promises to be the biggest exhibition show for small and medium-sized businesses, is scheduled to take place from Friday, October 31st to Sunday, November 2, 2025 at the Good Park near Accra Mall. General Manager of Sales and Marketing at the Multimedia Group, David Maxfuga, gave more details on the Super Morning Show.
The major complaint is they don't have access to markets. Some of them don't have access to funding. Okay. And some of them, even technology is a challenge. Now, just imagine we have done 1,000, and there could be more than 10,000, 20,000 of them out there. And so we thought, look, why don't we bring all these people together, those we have engaged and those who are outside, bring them together under one roof so they can have access to funding. Thankfully, EcoBank is our major sponsor. And then they can also have access to be able to network, and also be able to engage government agencies who will be there. Because some of them, even basic registration is a big issue. Okay. So we want to put all this together, the entrepreneurs, the government agencies, put all of these people under one roof so that they can have access to market, they can have access to fund, they can be able to network. Some of them even need a market outside. So this is an opportunity for them to get those access. So that's why we are putting this together. And it's led by Joy Business, but it's powered by Joy Prime.
That's very special. So, I mean, where will it happen?
Yes, it's happening at the Good Park, Accra Mall. Normally, when you say Good Park, people don't know where Good Park is. Good Park is at the Accra Mall. So it is happening at the Good Park, Accra Mall. It's a 4-day event, and it's starting from the 31st of October to the 4th of to the second Sunday, the 2nd of November. So that's the date and the venue for this. Now, for those who want to participate, since we want to solve a problem, now when you register, you are entitled to an exhibition booth. Okay, very big. You will be organizing training sections, customer service, and marketing sections. Again, there'll be networking.
In tourism, Ghana earned more than 15 billion Ghana cedis from international visitors between the 4th quarter of 2022 and the 3rd quarter of 2023. This is according to the latest Ghana International Travelers Report released by the Ghana Statistical Service today. Now, the earnings reflect spending by approximately 900,000 international visitors who arrived in the country during the 12-month period. Speaking at the release, government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu highlighted the importance of tourism and international travel in driving foreign exchange inflows and supporting Ghana's economic growth.
Recorded 12,864 same-day visitors. Many were in transit, but a significant share came for holidays, leisure, and recreation. Most were men with adults aged 36 to 64 years, consistently recording the highest numbers. Nearly 3/4 of them traveled by air, and their favorite attractions included the Bisa Abrewa Museum, Cape Coast Castle, the National Museum, and the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Collectively, Same-day visitors spent 24 million Ghana cedis, providing a boost to local businesses.
That'll be it for business. I am Michelle Ejekun. For more business news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Sports is up next.
We bring you sports now on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The multimedia group has announced that it will give away about 560,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime to participants of this year's Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. The General Manager for Sales and Marketing, David Max Fuga, revealed that the winner of this year's Joy Sports Invitational Tournament, Piwak Natural Health, will walk away with 40,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime.
Yeah. As we wrap up the Joy Sports Invitational activities, I would like to, on behalf of management and staff of multimedia, and on my own behalf, say a very big thank you to the Chief of Staff for gracing the occasion for us. I'm also very grateful to the over 50 CEOs who participated in this year's event. We are super grateful for your participation. Now to the prizes. For participating in this year's Joy Sports Invitational, your organization earns 10,000 worth of airtime straight away. So just for the mere participation, multimedia is giving you 10,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime. Now for those who won awards, for the second runner-up, we are giving you additional 15,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime. First runner-up gets additional 20,000 cedis worth of airtime to be used on any of the multimedia platforms. And the ultimate winners in each discipline get 30,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime to be used on any of the multimedia platforms. So you can add the participation to the ultimate prize. That's about 40,000 Ghana cedis worth of airtime just for being part of this year's historic Joy Sports Invitational. In appreciation for your partnership for this year's Joy Sports Invitational, there's a joint team of the marketing and the Joy Sports team going around to say thank you to you formally. We have visited a lot of you already. Some of you we've scheduled to visit you in the coming weeks. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your participation. And we look forward to see you again next year. But when we come around, we'll have further conversation on how we can make the event bigger and better. We value your input, and we want to believe that you share your insights and your ideas with us to make next year's event bigger and better. Thank you all. See you next year at the Joy Sports Invitational 2026.
Up next is Showbiz.
Time now for Showbiz. I am Lois Shola Adeyemi. Now, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa some days ago presented diplomatic passports to 5 Ghanaians who have projected the country on the global stage through their talents and professions. Among the recipients was Dental Moateng, an entrepreneur, media personality, and founder of the Guba Awards. In an interview, Dental described the honor as a clear sign that her work is being recognized and valued. She also outlined plans to use the privilege to promote Ghana through cultural diplomacy, investment outreach, and stronger diaspora engagement. There's more in this report.
5 very special Africans are going to receive diplomatic passports from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ghana to carry out their mobilization. Lady Benta Amwatino, who continues to inspire many of us from the work she does all the way in the UK with the GUBA Awards.
British Ghanaian entrepreneur and GUBA Awards founder Denta Amwati MBE said being named among the 5 recipients was unexpected but deeply affirming of her impact and contribution.
It's an honor. It's an honor because it just, solidifies the work that I've been doing, and just it's going to be, an enabler for me to do more.
She added that the recognition motivates her to do more, especially in connecting Ghana with its diaspora and promoting the country's rich culture, creative talent, and business opportunities to the world.
The thing is, it's a list of 5, but there's a lot of Ghanaians that deserve it. There's lots of people that are flying the flag, and I'm just inspired that to be recognized at this level and not knowing, being a surprise, but I'm going to do more. I'm going to make sure that the work continues, and just making sure that Ghana is celebrated, Ghana is looked at by the diaspora as a place to invest, and because obviously they have an event coming up in December, making sure that we push that agenda as well.
Well, moving away from that, 4-time Grammy nominee Rocky Dawuni has shared that while he never created music in pursuit of validation or accolades, he feels deeply honored to be recognized by the Minister of Foreign Affairs for his role in raising Ghana's flag on the global stage through music. He added that his diplomatic passport and new recognition has further inspired him to continue using his talent to uplift Ghana, its people, and the African continent as a whole.
Was going to go there and also, support it. So I was very surprised when the minister said 5 people even, I was like literally distracted.
Yeah.
I'm sure when they mentioned my name, I was like, what's going on? I was very surprised, but at the same time, I was very honored. It was a moment for me, I never did my work for the sake of accolades.
Yeah. True.
I have always believed that if your music or what you do is a calling, is God's gift, the gratitude is your ability to be able to do it on the highest level. Everything that comes as a relation to that is an add-on. It's an honor, it's a blessing. So I was filled with gratitude that, here I am, a child of Ghana who has always believed that my talent should be used to elevate my country, my continent, and my people. And I had the minister of, the foreign minister.
Yeah.
Bestowing upon me the opportunity and ability to even facilitate my work. And as a cultural persona that represents my country officially, and I've been doing this myself for a long time. So, I was excited and happy and grateful, and Ghana. Yes.
Well, and that's it for Showbiz. I am Lois Shola Adeyemi. Over to you, MFA Kosiadati.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You as well. But a big thank you for joining us today on the news. I'm MFA Kosiadati. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Please stay for the market, please.